Mickey Joseph goes to 1-1 as a head coach. What do you think? I know you said you've sort of started the campaign for Mickey Joseph becoming the next head coach at Nebraska. What does he need to do, in your opinion, in order to get this job and really lock it in?
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to probably steal the mic here for a little bit, but like, I was at the Nebraska-Oklahoma game, front and center. Dude, what I witnessed was a guy, and if you're an old school kid, and I'm 37 years old, you grew up in my era or older, Nebraska football has always been based off of hardworking, physical, just dominant up front, offensive line, defensive line, just more physical than the other team. I don't know any other way to put it. I was recruited by Nebraska out of high school. I mean, this is the style and the type of guy that I would play for. Now, I understand the new era, and I'm talking about 20-year-old kids right now. It's different, right? I mean, the NIL program, all this crap and all this, it's a different world. So I understand that, respect that. I get all of that. But one thing I love about Mickey, man, what he says, just to me, when I watch his press conferences, I watch all that crap, and I'm like, man, I would run through a brick wall for this guy. You know, like that's what I want. I think there's a reason why Trev made him the interim head coach is because the players wanted him. They believe in him. I saw the Oklahoma-Nebraska game. Before the game, if anybody was at that game on this podcast or listening to this, I'm sitting in the Oklahoma side, honestly, during this game. Like, it was crazy. And we're sitting around these Oklahoma fans, me and a couple other buddies, and we're sitting there. And like 5 minutes before the tunnel walk, and I don't have to go, through how crazy the tunnel walk is here. He gets like put on the big screen, and he's just going nuts at the players before the game. He's, let's effing go. That's what you could read his lips. That's literally what he was saying to his players on it. They were warming up and all that. The crowd just goes nuts, dude. It sent chills through my spine watching that. And even the kid next to me, which is my stepson, is like, holy cow, this kid's 14 years old. He's like, oh my God, he never witnessed what I've, seen back in the 90s when I was just a young kid, his age, all that. And he's like, oh my God. And the crowd just rose, dude. It was one of the coolest things I've seen. And everybody's buying in, man. And that's what I love about Mickey, man. You can tell he wants to be here. He wants Nebraska to be successful. And please, like, I'm looking into the freaking, camera right now. Like, seriously, this guy wants to win. We can say this about Scott. You can say this about previous coaches, whatever you want. This guy wants to be here. He played here, played under Osmer, man. This guy knows what it's about. And, man, I'm such a big advocate of him. I'm tired of hearing about all these other coaches personally. And I'm not trying to get into all that tonight, but it's like, man, this guy wants to win. And he wants to be here. And that's the type of coach I want. He knows the program. He knows everything. We could say this about Scott, yes, but, man, this guy wants to be here. And I thought the team played a lot better. I thought they responded. I thought they looked good tonight. There's the penalties, and we could go through the X's and O's and some of the plays and stuff, man. But we got to win against a 3-1 team. At the end of the day, we got the W. Or 35, 21 was the final score. Wasn't the most impressive thing we've ever seen, but we had 2 weeks. You could have brought any other coach, Urban Meyer. You guys want to throw that name around on chat? You want to throw Gary Patterson? You want to throw that? It wouldn't matter if we brought in Bill Belichick, 2 weeks ago to try to coach us against Oklahoma. We still got our asses kicked. Let's be honest. I just want to see the team tonight play hard tonight. And I thought they did. And like Christian, you said, we saw some Turbo Purdy tonight. We saw some different younger players get in tonight. And I like that about Mickey. I think he's kind of right now is like, man, I'm going to test everybody at every position, throw guys in there. Let's see what they can do, produce, whether it's big, little, whatever. Super happy about this guy, man. I think Nebraska fans are crazy if they don't give this guy a shot because I really, really like this dude. There's a reason why he was made the interim head coach. Let's be honest. Players like him, man. I mean, I don't think you can overlook that. You know what I mean? To me personally, I don't think you can overlook that. I think he's an adamant guy, and like I said, not to take over this chat about who's going to be the coach next year, but I honestly think that this dude wants to be here, man. I think the players really, really respect him, and his probably method is probably a lot different for those kids. They probably necessarily don't love some kids nowadays. Like recruits probably don't want the hard coaching. Let's be honest, kids are transferring, every other day now, but as a Nebraska fan, old school Nebraska fan, come on, man. You got to buy in, wait your turn. type of thing. And I think Mickey's about that, man. I think he's all about hard work and, really buying into the program. And I think this is what it's about, whether it's you're a senior, whether you're a freshman, hell, it doesn't matter, and, long story short, not to take up this, not to take up this whole like chat about this, but like, I could talk about this guy forever, dude. This guy gives me chills when I listen to him talk. I'm like, I'll play for that guy. I'll play for that guy a heartbeat. I'm 37 years old, So go ahead, Christian. Sorry, man.
No, you're good, man. I love it. I love the passion that comes with it. I mean, you can just certainly tell. And that's the thing that Mickey Joseph is going to bring. He's going to bring that passion, right? Yeah. There's an interesting scenario out there, I think, that would be if you do have a guy like Mickey Joseph as the head coach going into next year, right? And you do give him a full off season. You do let him recruit. Because I think Mickey Joseph is going to do those things that we want, right? He's not going to let, certain things on the recruiting trail slide. He's not going to take this lightly, right, and show up to practice late. He's not going to do these things that have been rumored and have been out there. Amen. He's going to take this as a full-blown job. He is going to come in here, and his message is going to be simple. We are coming in here to absolutely dominate everybody and get back to what the standard is, right? And our standard, by the way, is to try to compete for a Big Ten championship first and foremost. Then let's get back to that national level of success. It's just those little things and keeping ourselves inside of ourselves. And I think that's what Mickey Joseph can do a really good job of. Interestingly enough, do you know who his brother is, by the way, Chris?
Yeah.
His brother is Vance Joseph. Right? He was the former NFL head coach. He's a defensive, if I'm not mistaken, he's a defensive-minded guy.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Just imagine next year. Now, this is a huge hypothetical I'm throwing out here, right? I have nothing to tell me that this could happen. But just imagine, next year it's 2023. Mickey gets the job. He's the head coach. Somehow he gets his brother to come down, Vance, become the defensive coordinator at Nebraska.
Yeah.
You've got all that. Vance Joseph is a hell of a defensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yes, he is.
You get him down here at the college level. And I'm telling you, and we've talked about this several times,